Your light ain't on. Your light is not on.
Welcome.
How y'all doing? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How y'all doing? It's been a minute.
I am Kel.
I am Quintella, and this is Recipe to Chivalry.
We're back, man.
We're back. Happy to see y'all on this side of 2026.
Yes.
We are blessed. We're happy to have all of y'all here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And as customary, we will start off with a short prayer real quick before we get into the topic.
Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you. We thank you for this is the first podcast of 2026. Lord, I ask that our platform be used for your glory, that it helps somebody, help us to be able to reach those that you intend for us to reach. We thank you for everybody that comes on and supports. Lord, we love you and we bless your name. Amen.
Amen. We thank you for that beautiful prayer as always. All righty. So on the screen, if you can see, the topic for today is what happens when one of you in a relationship, marriage, becomes ill. What happens when those things happen? Is marriage, you stand before the preacher and always says, to death do you part, in sickness and health. And sometimes it becomes such a formality that you really don't think about those things. You don't think about, hey, you live long enough. One of you could become very ill.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? Are there challenges with that? All kinds of stuff can come from that. So when a spouse becomes ill, especially with a serious or chronic long-term condition, it affects every layer of the relationship. Couples often describe it as entering a new phase of marriage or dating. When facing temporary challenges. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree. It can change the dynamics of how the relationship is, not just the relationship as a whole, but the part you play in that relationship. The whole dynamics of everything completely can be turned upside down, or so to speak.
I agree. Like speaking straight right off the head, you can think about it. If you're the breadwinner and you're the one that becomes sick, that can instantly put a strain
on a household financially,
the relationship. So
let's kind of
dive into that a bit.
Let's talk about what typically happens within that in the relationship when those things come up.
Okay.
Do you want to start with the financial part or the emotional?
We can start with
the emotional shifts.
Just going off of what this saying. Yeah, we can start with that part. That's fine.
Okay, so just right away, fear, grief. Both partners may grieve a loss of life or expected loss of life. And then sometimes it's not even grieving the life. It could be the fear of, like we were saying, the roles changing financially, especially if one partner isn't making as much as others. As we all know that generally speaking, men typically make more money than women out in the job market. So with that happening, if you're not someone who take those things in mind, or if you haven't saved for those kind of financial decreases, then what happens? Because now you, especially if you have children, or it could be where there's only one working partner within the marriage.
Right.
I think we've been on both sides of that.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the part that I want to go back to what she said earlier was the burden of maybe expecting or the fear of one of you passing away.
Okay, you want to deal with that one? I think
we have a guest. Hold on one moment.
We have a guest on.
Let me give you your flowers. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing? So, yeah, so in this dynamic,
her mic is off.
It's on her end because she's wide open.
Wide open.
But in this dynamic, the fear of maybe that person passing who's become ill could really bring some stress in your life.
Right.
And cause you to get sick too if you're stressing about it. Especially if it's something, I'm not gonna say nothing as serious, but like let's say you're dealing with something like cancer. Mm-hmm. And you just don't know what's gonna happen. You're sitting there stressing big time, not just financially, but mentally.
Right.
It's a mental strain. Melissa, did you have an opportunity to see the topic?
Yeah, she's the one that brought it up. She's just there.
If you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. We can see you, but we cannot hear you.
Okay. I think she's out eating, so I think that's part of the issue right now.
Be out,
yeah, out but she wanted to make sure she was on. Yeah, I know that's right, baby. Get it in.
So we're going to carry on.
Right. Well, in the meanwhile, and then we'll give her an opportunity once she's straight to do her part. So that's fine. Definitely.
And the other part of it, like I said, from a mental aspect is, hey, lady.
Hey, family.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good.
Have you had an opportunity to?
I had to come outside because I got drugged to a birthday party.
I know that's right. Happy birthday. I know that's right. Tell them happy birthday. We'll shout them
out. I didn't want to come.
Oh, one of those types.
I know you'd rather be home crafting.
Okay, we got in the truck.
On the mental side, it could be a strain just because, okay, let's say it's not life-threatening, but it does decrease your health some, your physical abilities, maybe to move around.
Right.
You lose your sight. So you can both fear the expectancy of losing the life you thought you were going to have together.
Right.
So not necessarily you might pass, but now let's say I'm bound to a wheelchair.
Right. So that changes
that
how
changes
we move.
The whole dynamic of what we thought the future
would look like. Right.
Right. So do you have any thing to say on that end, Lisa?
Or any experience that you'd like to share on how that can impact a marriage or a relationship when one or both people within a relationship or a marriage becomes ill?
For me, I used to all the time. God forbid something happened to Tom. I would not be one.
Okay.
Not me. So
you're breaking up a little bit, but I heard you say you're not caregiving type. So that would be your
Well,
struggle.
I used to think that I would be that way.
Listen, listen, do me a favor.
I think you're in a bad spot.
You think you can come on an audio card and not just do a regular call in instead of the
Yeah,
app?
if you tell me how
For
to
me
do it,
instead that
Sound
way.
better.
tell me how. Can you hear me now?
I can hear a little bit. Still a little. It's breaking up a little bit. Hold on, we have another
How to
guest.
call in? I'll call in.
Call me.
Yeah, call Quintella's number, and
Is that the
Uh-huh.
yeah, we'll put you on speaker.
okay?
Hey,
Yep.
Keisha, how you doing? Glad to have you. I can't hear you. Your mic is muted, but I think you can hear us. Okay, so
Okay, so Lissa's gonna come on and I'm gonna call her and put her on through my phone, and then hopefully y'all will be able to hear. I'll put it on speaker so that she can kind of give y'all some insight to what she has going on because she's in a bad spot. But we are talking about when you're in a relationship with someone and what happens if one of y'all become ill. You know, Lissa was saying that she, you know, in the beginning was saying that she didn't think that she was the caregiving type. Here we are. All right, got you.
Okay. So I don't know how much y'all heard, but so Tommy had ankle surgery, and he couldn't step on his feet for like 3 months
oh wow.
at all. I had to carry him up the stairs, carry him down the stairs. If he had to use the bathroom, I had to take him to the bathroom. So that was like a real struggle. And I used to always say I never wanted to be the person that had to take care of somebody because that was just not what I wanted to do. But then when the tables were turned and I had to do it, mentally I wasn't ready.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to do it on the strength of I watched my mama do it for so long, but at the same time, when the tables were reversed, when it was me needing the help, he's not as understanding because he say it's just his male gene that I want him to be a certain way and he can't be that way. So I think like men and women, we are built different, so we have to take it. Like we are nurturing, and men are not as nurturing as women are, and they don't have no filter. Like it's okay, I'm gonna help you do this, and then I'm gonna go watch the game.
Yep, I can attest to some of that. You're absolutely
Like,
right.
I want you to see and understand why I'm crying when I don't even know why I'm crying. You need to know that.
Right.
Okay.
And I think you're absolutely right. We're gonna let Kel kind of talk about that a little bit, especially from me. I don't know which incident I want him to talk about with me being sick. You want to go back to the earlier one where the kids was little?
Yeah, we'll start with that one.
Because I have been.
It's a little comedic. It was serious, but a little comedic.
It was. So like the children were in elementary school. We was down here and I got really sick. And for those that don't know, I have lupus. At the time we did not know. We had found out early on, and then I got really sick to the point where at one point I was having headaches so bad until it was so bad, and I got so sick until I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks. And at that time I was in the hospital, they didn't know what to do. They were saying that I was going blind because there was so much pressure that had built up in the back of my eyes that I was going to go blind. It was just a waiting game. And I remember Kel had came up to the hospital after I found that out. And I looked at him and I told him, don't come back. To take care of the kids and just don't come back. And when he left that day, I don't even know if I ever told him. I had prayed and I asked God to go ahead and just take me. That was how much pain I was in. That's what I was dealing with on that end. And it's so crazy because him being as young as he was, he listened. He didn't come back. He didn't come back to the hospital.
It wasn't like that.
He didn't come back to the hospital.
Hey, y'all, I didn't just leave her there to ride.
But he did.
It wasn't like that. So let me finish. Let me tell my part now. So, because hold on. So the thing was, she did say that did happen. For men, I would say on this part, like we're kind of independent. You know what I mean? And when you get with someone, you've been with them for so long, it kind of feels like you start to lose some of that independence because you come a little bit dependent on your partner doing certain things, right? So on the lighter note of this story, I had two girls and a son that was super young, but he wasn't going to school at the time.
Yeah, KJ was like 3.
He was like 2 or 3, somewhere around there. But 2 girls, so
they both was in school.
I knew how to cut hair.
Oh.
I didn't know how to braid no hair. Do nothing with it. So my brother-in-law, her brother, Corey was living with us at the time. So we wake up and I gotta go to work. So wake up and like, oh shoot, kids gotta go to school. We busting out school clothes, getting them straight. And then look at their hair and was like, oh my goodness, what in the world am I gonna do? So we grabbed the car, so put in the little ponytails, like, all right, bye, go. And they come home looking like the wind and did a drum roll on top of both of their heads. So yeah, it was like kind of like
he had to step into a role that he wasn't used to.
I wasn't prepared for it at all.
Right.
So it was turned upside down. Then the part of me not coming back, I worked a 12-hour shift and I worked all days. Mm-hmm. So I would go in back then I was going in like 6 o'clock in the morning. I wouldn't get home till like 7 o'clock at night. And by that time I'm like, okay, I gotta feed the kids, get them straight. I learned from yesterday, them get their clothes out now, so I ain't rushing. And that was the thing I figured, okay, on the weekends I'll shoot back up there. Or if I could, because the whole thing was now I go up there, I can't take the girls where she was at.
Yeah, because I was in ICU. What's up?
They wasn't just saying about her. It wasn't just her being blind. It was that it could possibly kill her. And if all these other remedies don't work, the only other thing was to have open head brain surgery because so much pressure was building up. It just went behind the eyes. Mm-hmm. It was in the head, period. And I was like, man, I can't lose her right now because one, you don't want to lose your partner, period. I'm like, without her in the picture, what am I going to do with these kids? And I'm like, yeah, I feed them. Yeah, I take care of them, clothes, but man, I don't know how to do no hair.
Only other stuff that men don't think about
when
they be talking trash about women taking care of kids.
Both of them got hair down to their shoulders. I'm like, he don't know how to braid. I don't know how to braid. Like, man, I'm going to have to find somebody, pay somebody or something, So it was kind of rough on that end. And back to what you were saying, Alyssa, the role changes. When one spouse becomes a caregiver, it could change how you see each other. Mm-hmm. Unequal emotional load.
And that's what she was talking about.
That's exactly what she was referring to. So the healthy partner may suppress their own feelings just to stay strong. And the guilty one, the person that's sick.
Yeah. Because how did he take it knowing that you had to take care of him? Like, how did he?
He didn't want me to do it, but he couldn't step down. So he would try to I had to literally carry him up, like put him on my back and take him up the stairs. Now, you know, Tommy is solid.
Right. Ooh.
And I used to have him making these, and Megan is gone. Like, she is out of the picture.
I know that's
like,
right.
She's nowhere to be found. So I was like, now how am I supposed to navigate this? But I was able to get him up the stairs. But one day he had made me so mad. And this is where the mean part come in.
You left him in the shower?
He made me so mad. And I was standing there, and he slammed it. He got out the car. He had his little kick wheel thing, and he got out the car. And I said, stand there, don't move. And he just threw the door. And when he tried to be smart, and he threw the door, and he rolled up under the truck. I said, now look at you.
Poor Tank Tank.
Who got to get you from under the truck? Who got to get you from under the truck?
Dang, Tommy. Come on, Tommy.
He tries to jump up, but in his mind, I'm gonna stand on my own 2 feet.
Right. But your body ain't compliant.
I let him do it. I let him jump up on his own 2 feet. Nobody had to get him. And then he was mad at me because he had to jump on his own feet. But I'm telling you, if you would have just stood there,
I can imagine.
you wouldn't have been under the truck.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And he felt like his independence. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
I thought I should have backed the truck right up on him.
yeah, so the guilty
So
party.
And then I had to, not only that, I had to get him up. I had to get the kick wheel thing up the steps.
Right.
I had to get his wheelchair up the stairs.
Mm.
And I had to get him up the stairs.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see that. He calls more than what would it took if he'd just listened.
Right. So now we're talking about your lifestyle changes because that affects your lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So
And then 2 months after that, that's when I got hit with, you got to get a pacemaker.
So now the roles reverse.
Now the roles is reversed. So I was like, okay, I got to get a pacemaker. And he looking at me like I'm crazy. So I told him, I said, either I'm going to get the pacemaker or I'm going to keep on going through the same palpitations or whatever. But they called me. I didn't know my heart had stopped. I didn't know. They called me and they said, you got to get to the hospital right away. And I was like, well, what happened? They was like, your heart stopped. You ain't feel it. I said, if I felt it, I wouldn't have been on the phone with you.
Right.
I would have been at the hospital already.
Right.
So,
I got a question for you. During the time when Tommy was sick, were you still working? How would you navigate in that? Because that did it reduce work for you also? Because I know, okay, on his end, because he's retired. He was retired, right? So he's good.
well, he retired, but he still worked for the post office.
Okay. So
he was off of work. They gave him the time off of work. He was using his FMLA.
right.
And I was working, but initially I was working from home. But then we would still have to go in 1 day a week. So that 1 day a week that I was having to go in, he would just be in the house by himself.
Right.
So I would have to make sure that the wheelchair was in the room, but in the hallway at the door, and he would have to use his kick and go thing to get to the door, to get in the wheelchair, to get down the hall. I had to food prep.
Right.
I had to do everything.
Right. So that changed the dynamics of how y'all used to do things, your lifestyle. So that was a complete lifestyle change. It was right. You had to change how you did everything. You getting up extra early, which means you're also going to bed extra late because you got to make sure those things are in place.
Right. And plus drive an hour and a half to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
1:30 in the morning.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, so that goes along with the guilty party. The guilty party, they may feel like a burden. A caregiver may feel guilty for feeling tired or resentful, or like she said, practical lifestyle changes.
You get real
financial
resentful.
stress, medical bills, reduced work. Less spontaneous and freedom changes, intimacy and sexuality.
Oh, of course. Hey, you don't feel sexy or nothing when you sick. You better not breathe on me. But get away from me. I don't want, look, I'm trying to get myself back healthy. Matter of fact, I'm mad because I know for me, I was mad that I was even sick. Like I went through like all of those emotions, the emotional distance. I like all of that. I was just trying to figure out what in the world. Because first of all, I want to know who in the family got lupus. Because somebody didn't tell me. And we need to talk about those things too, especially in the Black community, because we have these, and just a little bit for me to get off this tangent a little bit. We have diseases and stuff that come up, and our elders never went to the doctor. Were never diagnosed correctly for these, because there's nobody in my family that I know that have lupus. And then just to fast forward, now I have a child that has MS. We went down the family line. We can't find nobody that has MS either. So that tells us these are two diseases that went undiagnosed. You know, and then I kind of felt bad, you know, because I felt like I gave my daughter MS because, you know, lupus and MS, they're cousins. So I'm like, okay, it's in the gene and I didn't pass this on, but where did they come from? You know, we didn't even have a fighting chance, because I felt like if this was something I knew ahead of time, maybe there were things that I could have put in place. Like in my family also, there's sickle cell. So I knew my brother had sickle cell. I wasn't a carrier and I didn't have it. So that was one of those things that I was able to test for, you know, to make sure I was good. And then when my children were born, I had them tested to make sure, okay, everybody's good on that end. But if you don't know, or you got family members that never get tested for things, you out here looking crazy, which I feel like puts a whole nother dynamic on everything we're talking about. But I just had to get that out.
Yeah, so it could be a loss of identity as a couple.
Wait.
What you say, listen?
How did you balance, like, when Quinn would get mad because you wasn't there, or like if she constantly tell you, I'm having a headache, how did you communicate with her? Like,
well, in the beginning, before we found out, yeah, it was sometimes she had to go up in the room, cut out all the lights, close the doors, and just lay there because the pressure in her head was so much, like the slightest sound would bother her. For me, back then, to be honest, I had a few outlets. So one, we played basketball right there outside. Or I would go downstairs, and that's when I was a huge gamer. I had Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, you name it, I had the system, I had it. So it allowed me to go downstairs, allow her to be upstairs and get some rest. And I would go downstairs and have my woosah doing something that I like to do. But, you know, as far as like feeding her and giving that, you know, till this day, I still feed her. So for me, it wasn't a real hard stress as far as her getting angry. She get angry now and ain't nothing wrong with her head. So, so, you know, you got to find that. For me, the stress for me was more of, man, I might lose my partner. We just started this journey, and I got 3 kids that we may lose their mom, and then what do I do then? So that was more the side of stress for me. It was like sitting there, like for me personally as a man, I think most men feel this way. I'd rather something else to be affecting us that I feel like I can put my hands on, or I can go and work, something that I can maybe alter what's going on. But when I feel bad as a provider, when there's something going on that drastic and there's nothing I can do, but, you know, pray to God about it. So,
and it's crazy because he's saying he felt bad about it. It's like sometimes I felt like, okay, maybe he don't care. And it wasn't that, like he said, he didn't care. Men, when stuff like that happen, yeah, they run. They don't know how to emotionally deal with it. So they retreat, and their way of dealing with it is like he said, he would go game, he would go do other stuff, and I'm like, you up here, and it's looking like to me, you out here having fun, where I'm in here sick, and we got kids that need taken care of. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, so for her, I can understand because once again, everything changes. So the kids were familiar with running to her, asking her for everything. So I'm trying to tell them, no, come to me and tell me what you need, and I'll take care of it. But they run into her. She's like, well, where's your daddy? Well, he down there playing the game. And it's not like I just left her, but that was their routine and trying to change their routine of coming to me. And it wasn't that I just left her. I'm like, if I stay up there with her, sometimes she get mad because I'm there because I ask her a question like, hey, how you doing? You okay? How you doing? Are you okay? I'm just stop bothering me. So it's like you're gonna lose on either end. So I was like, no, I'm going downstairs. Hold on, we got another guest.
Hey.
Hey. What up, baby? How you doing? Our number one visitor on here.
We also got Christina. She's on YouTube. So I'll be jumping between that too.
Thank you for joining, Chris. V, have you had a chance to see the Q&A? And do you have the response to it?
How you feeling?
I think I'm on the mend.
Okay.
We'll see. I'm still congested.
Yeah, I hear it. You still feel real sick. So if y'all don't know, the whole family been going through it, y'all. Because I thought it got killed. I wasn't playing. Yesterday, I was like, nope, take this. Like, I
got that bounce back.
Yeah, he got his bounce. I was like, take this Zycam, take this emergency pack. I need you to do this or that. Look, yeah, we can't be sick over here. But it was coming because I was like, oh, I think you got me sick. I was like, get that elderberry. We're going to get this stuff in us.
So with all that stuff going on, one thing we have to take into consideration is not the relationship is not failing. She's mad at me. I'm mad at her for being mad at me. Our whole roof has been turned upside down. The kids coming to me now like, when I tell you I'm hungry, you should know it's peanut butter and jelly.
Right.
And I'm like, here go bologna sandwich. And they're looking at me crazy. Like,
I don't want that.
I don't eat during the middle of the day. I'm not here. So it's not that the relationship is failing. They're normal responses to an abnormal situation. So it's an abnormal situation. It's something we have to adapt to, right?
Right. So common relationship patterns couples fall into is survival mode.
Absolutely.
And that is something I think that absolutely happened. I guess with me being sick too, he was like, okay, so you're on that end, you just deal with all your doctor stuff. And he dealt with the household. So now he had to figure out appointments.
Yes.
He had to figure out all that stuff, not just, and even when I came home from the hospital, because actually when I did get well, and the Lord did not answer my request to die, and I'm so grateful, Lord, because we're just so silly sometimes. I mean, we be in so much pain, but I was at the point where I could not take the pain anymore, and I had no more. I had no more fight in me. And I'm so glad now, looking back at that He did not take my life. So when that did happen, I thank God because the person that actually brought me home from the hospital, I don't know if she's ever going to see this, but it was Tressie. So it was Boo's wife. She came, she picked me up, she helped get me dressed, and she got me home safe because Kel couldn't come up. Like he said, he had the kids. It would have been just way too much. And I don't know if she even remembers that. But that is something that, because of that, I'll always cherish that woman for, because she had no idea what she did for us.
Let me give her her flowers, even though she's not on.
Right.
Thank you, Tressie.
So once I got home, because I forgot, the kids were able to come up one time. And that one time they was able to come up, it was horrible. They cried.
They complained about me and what I was doing to their hair. They clothes.
Yeah, the girls.
Brother Phil.
Not them in the hospital complaining about you. Oh my gosh, what were you doing to them kids?
Like, you gotta come home.
Yeah, they was like, please come home. We miss you. They was like, look at our hair.
Oh my God.
So Corey and Kel, they tried to do their hair. My babies weren't looking horrible. Their hair was looking bad. They were dressed like little boys.
I could have gave them that fade, that bust down tight fade. I could have lined them up. but I don't think they wanted that.
So my 2 little girls were not looking their best going to school during that month, that little time I spent in the emergency room, the emergency hospital, the ICU for 2 weeks. My babies were looking a hot mess. They really was. But Kel, they tried. And, according to Kel and Corey, they said they looked fine when they left the house. It was, when they came home, one of them about to get on there.
She's about to get on here and blow me up now. Hey, Mala.
I wasn't even going to say nothing.
Do you remember when that happened?
Hold on. Be easy before I mute you. Okay?
I know where you live.
When I got sick and your daddy and your uncle had to do y'all hair and get y'all to school. Do you remember that time?
You had me out here looking like a little alien. Like, you already know my hair don't act right as is, and then you're going to not try to at least slick it down. Where?
You look fine. I don't know what activities they had you do in school.
All we did was walk to the bus stop, and that's it. We didn't even get on the bus. We didn't even get to school yet. We just trying to get to the bus stop.
You should come on now.
I put rubber bands in bubbles.
So, they did the best they could at that time, but it was very stressful. I guess it would be for him, for somebody who never even had to worry about it. The shift was immediate. There was no practice for him. He had to figure out everything, and he had to figure it out really quick. That was one of the things I think I took for granted, because what you probably don't know was she went to school for hair, and prior to that, she did hair like nobody's business. So I was like, oh, girls, she got that. Oh, we good. We got a similar wear. Then she was out the picture. It was like, oh, and there was no YouTube University back then. Well, YouTube was around. You just didn't. It wasn't the university it is now. Right. So I was like, oh man, I don't know what to do. They just, I'm gonna do the best. Here go these bobos and here go these barrettes, and y'all get out there. It's all about education. It ain't about how you look. You know what? It is. Don't have my kids looking like
definitely about how you look.
Why don't you take them to the salon? Ask somebody to throw some braids in there.
He wasn't thinking about any of that.
I don't think about none of that. I had to go to work.
That's when he was working at he was working where he at now, but on that crazy schedule. He was just trying to get
that was an all day. That was an all day schedule.
Oh yeah, so he was.
So from 6 in the morning to 7 o'clock in the afternoon, I was at work. So the only person that was there that could help was Corey. And
at that time,
Corey was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So he was.
Plus, my mother didn't trust nobody in our head anyway, so that one flew.
We didn't have nobody.
Right.
You hadn't come down yet.
Yeah, right.
So I had nobody. I had nobody at that point.
Yeah, and he was just trying to figure it out. And even when I did come home from the hospital, unfortunately, he was happy to just throw that robe back on me. There was no mercy. There was no, okay, I'll get you to ease back into that. So I think that was another one of those things that we need to talk about, that, as far as emotional support and physical support, I did feel like I was lacking some of that, because it was like, well, dang, just because they let me out the hospital don't mean that.
Don't be like I'm all right.
Right.
Hey, if I had bought some little side chick floozy up in here doing their hair, Lord have mercy, a grenade would have went off in the house. So yeah, he was just like, here, you figure it out. You strong. You back home. So it was like, okay, well, Dad, I'm jumping right back into everything I was doing before I was sick, still dealing with my sickness, and then still feeling like, well, do he even realize what just happened to me? Like I ain't 100% dude. And I think that's what Lisa was talking about, where it differs from men to women. But I don't necessarily say it differs. It's just, this is an abnormal situation. So if you're not faced with it, you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to deal with it.
So y'all real nonchalant. I tell Tommy all the time, don't look at me like that, because I'm gonna punch you in your throat. Because I say, for instance, yesterday, I told him, I said, man, I'm having palpitations. He told me, tell me something that ain't new. I said, oh. So you want to be fancy and flick out the mouth. Right. So then I kick you in your ankle. We got something new.
So I don't think
he be real nonchalant. He be slick, but he does that. He said he does it because if he change, if he show any sign of weakness or that he's really concerned, then he said I'm gonna milk it. And he don't want me to milk it.
I can see that. Not saying that you would, but I can see that. Ooh. I can see that. So
I would definitely milk it.
Right.
What you say, V?
I said I would definitely milk it. I'm milking it for all you got. I ain't lying.
See? It's like, nah, I need you to stand 10 toes down. I'm gonna help you when you really need it. Don't do that extra stuff. But again, that sounds like a survival mode.
So we supposed to suffer in silence.
No, sometimes that's what happens. Not that you're supposed to, but it's something that happens because you develop an emotional disconnect, and both partners hide their feelings to protect one another, and it leads to loneliness on both sides.
So we begin to be over functioners or under.
Or either under functioner. Because like you're saying that I don't care, so I'm under functioning.
Right.
And like Lissa says, she did this, she did maybe over functioning.
Right.
So one spouse does everything, the other feels helpless or controlled. So recognizing these patterns early can help you shift the course.
And I'm glad. Let's stop there for a minute go back to like one partner feeling controlled. I want to switch gears just a little bit and come up a couple of years.
Okay.
When I was the one that had to become the person that was taking care of everybody. So years later, the kids are in high school. And this is when my mother had her second stroke. So in that same week, my mother had a stroke. Kel had an episode and we didn't know what was going on with him. And V remember this. She was on here, Marla's here. And we was at V house and Kel was there and we was all chilling. We was outside and all of a sudden, and I'm gonna tell you a story. You okay with that?
Yeah, you can tell.
We was outside and Kel was like, yo, y'all don't smell that? And we all looking at him crazy, like, smell what? And his behavior became completely erratic.
I was smelling ammonia, like somebody had an ammonia, something right by my nose. It was burning my nose, burning my eyes, starting to burn into my brain. That's what it felt like. It was that strong, is what I'm smelling.
And none of us was smelling it. So, we sitting there talking to him and I noticed something was completely wrong. So at that same note, he was like, I'm hungry. So we was like, all right, we're going to get some pizza. So not too far from where V lived, there was a pizza shop. We went in there. And while we were in the pizza shop, his behavior became more erratic. And he's talking to me, but he's just like talking out his head. And I thank God for wisdom. So I just started talking to him and asking him simple questions. I was like, do you know who I am? And he was like, stop playing with me. Yeah, I know who you are. I was like, do you know where you at? And he was like, yeah, I'm in here trying to get some food. I was like, no, like, do you know the area we're in? And he was like, no, I don't know where I'm at. And I was like, your sister don't live too far from here and your mother. And he was like, no, they don't. And that's when I knew something was wrong. So then I had started asking him, like, did he know his children's birthdays and all that? And it was crazy because he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, well, tell me. He was like, I'm not about to tell you. And I was like, okay, ding, ding. Instead of him just answering the question, you're avoiding the question. So long story short, we got his pizza. We went back to V's and I was like, V, I'm gonna need y'all to watch the kids. I'm gonna take Kel to the emergency room. Well, Mr. Man didn't want to go. He was like, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna eat my pizza and that's it. So I had to bribe him and I was like, yo, just take a ride with me. We're gonna go over here and see your mother. So, because I had called her and let her know I was going to take him to the emergency room. So I had drove over to her house and we're sitting out there waiting for her to come. And he's like, where am I? Where are we? And I'm like, we waiting on your mother. We picking her up. My mother don't live over here. And I'm like, yo, yeah, something wrong. So we got him to the hospital and it's crazy. We got him in the emergency room and they did every single test on him that could be done. And do you know they released them? It was like, we can't find anything. I'll let you take it over from here.
Well, I went on home. They sent me to a
to your primary.
Not yet. They sent me to a neurologist first, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said something's wrong with my brain, maybe. Go see him. So I go over there, go see him. He couldn't figure nothing out. And I was like, you know what? Well, let me back up. So where I had to go to the neurologist, been by there oodles and noodles of times. I've been there like, I close my eyes and get there. So this particular day I'm going, and I'm like, man, I can't find this doggone place. I don't know where it's at. I knew something was wrong because I know in my head, I should know where it's at. I passed it so many times. And I took all kinds of detours and couldn't find it. I was like, I don't want to call her. I don't want to alarm her, have her scared. For some reason, my memory is gone of where this place is at. So finally I broke down, pulled over, called, and was like, hey, look, I don't know how to get where I'm going. She's like, what do you mean? It's right there. I was like, yeah, I don't know how to get there. You okay? I said, look, just calm down. I want to hear all that. Just tell me how to go to where I'm going. I'm fine. I just don't remember where I'm going. So she tells me to go there. Actually, I go see him a few times and he can't find nothing. So now I go back to my primary. And me and him always bump heads. Always bump heads. I felt like he was never listening. And stuff he was telling me to do, I do it halfway. I ain't gonna try. It was all his fault. You know, I halfway do stuff. But I go in there that day and he's like, yeah, because I'm looking at your charts. And it had been like 4 or 5 months since I had seen him.
It was like 3 months.
Okay, 3 months.
Like 3 months.
Yeah, because back then your blood sugar was like at 600. And I was
like, he paused. Well, he paused when he said it because at first he was like and I was like, at what? And then he was like 600. I was like, oh, so right. This is your fault. I was like,
whoa. So if it was 600 3 months ago, I wonder what it was that night I had that episode. Mm-hmm. And you just now telling me?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I could have died.
Right, he should have. Going back on something. So he was walking around. So what we found out, he was walking around at like an 800.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so definitely should have been in a coma, but thank God I didn't.
Ain't nothing but God mercy and prayers. And
because here's the funny part. Back then, I drank Red Bulls every day. Like 2 and 3 of them, the big ones, and I would kill them. So I ain't no telling what I was walking around with that other day, but thank God I made it. But back to your switching to care.
Right. So I had my mother that was sick. Then I got killed. That was just diagnosed with that. And then how long after that, Marla, did we find out? Did I find you started having episodes with? I want to say.
I thought Daddy. I thought this one Daddy thing happened before we moved out here. So we was in middle school.
Yeah, it did.
When Daddy happened with his stuff.
Yeah,
because I was on Monticello and Petersburg.
Yeah, and we moved from Auntie from out here. So my stuff started. I think Grandma's second stroke she had.
Right.
So. Yes. Mine started in high school, but mine didn't really affect me bad until I was my last 2 years of high school. So 11th, my 10th and senior year.
Right.
So I don't know, 17, 18.
Yeah, because 16 you had your first fall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there it kind of just escalated and it kind of was spotty. Right. But by like 1920 is when stuff kind of escalated. And that's around the time Grandma had her stuff because I was with you all the times. She going with her.
Yeah, because I think you had your second or your third one she had her second or her third one by then.
Yeah.
Third one. Because that's your daddy I got sick again though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was bouncing the 3 of them and trying to work full time. And everything else. So being a caregiver became all that I knew, and I felt like I think I was running off of pure, I don't know.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, probably. Probably, because I was just bouncing. Marla stayed with me, so I was like, wherever I'm going, you going. I ain't got to worry about you. We'd be at the hospital, and when my mother was going through her PT, I would take Marla with me because I couldn't leave her by herself. And then Kel, he was getting back straight for the most part with work, because you was going back to work and you was okay, but the problem was his memory was like horrible. So basically that night, what happened was he lost his, which your memory wise, which one was it?
It was spotty. It was all over the place. Like I can remember stuff way back when I was 5 years old, but I lost some stuff that recently happened.
Right.
My memory wasn't selective of one spot. It jumped all over the place. Like the house that where she had the where her swelling in her brain. It's so many stuff back there I do not remember.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it at all. And that was like the first home we bought.
Yeah, that was our first
home. My memory is super spotty when it comes to that. Like, and it's still like that now.
Right. So it affected him really bad, because we'll be talking sometimes and I'll be like, yeah, remember when such and such, and he just sit there and look at me like, no, I don't.
I don't have that memory.
And he don't have that memory anymore.
So I want to give. For me, it's like I understand my patterns now. Like we'll go to both of my sisters, we'll go to their houses and I still have to put the GPS on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's other stuff that I remember from eons ago.
Go with no problem.
So it's just super spotty, but I understand that about myself. I'm not frustrated with it. I'm like, okay, GPS it is. You want me to drive you? This how we get there, you know? So I understand what happened. You know, it took a toll and it did what it did, you know, and if that's the best it done, I'm great because I'm still here. I lost a few memories. Okay, I sit back and let y'all tell it to me and I laugh at it. You know what I mean? But I want to tell two stories, and this two stories kind of goes with what you two were saying, what Lisa was saying, right? About us men being, what was the word y'all used? Nonchalant. So I want to pull out an incident that happened with my daughter Marla. So this is when her MS got real serious, and I mean very serious to us, right? So we're upstairs, we're sleeping, and we had a dog, and I guess Quintella was up. So
I wasn't up.
Somewhat. Well, Marla went up to go downstairs, and I guess get some breakfast or something, and she gets to like this last couple of steps, and she's going into a seizure. I'm asleep, Quintella's asleep. I don't know what woke you up.
God, because I'm gonna tell you, I was in a deep sleep. And God shook me and was like, get up now. And I was like, get up. He was like, get up now. And I got up and was like, go to the stairs. And I looked at the bottom of the stairs, and the dog, my Coconut, and I had a Highland Terrier. At that time, he did not bark. He was not the type of dog to bark. But he was at the bottom of the stairs, like licking and trying to push on Marla. But he didn't bark. And then that's when I yelled for Kel, and I was like, Marla's at the bottom of the stairs. So for me, I'm asleep, and I hear my name, but it's very, very faint. And that's how deep of a sleep I was. It was like, Kel, Kel. And it kept getting louder and louder, and finally it woke me up. So I jump up, I run downstairs, and as soon as I get downstairs, she collapses, right? No, she was already on the floor.
Yep,
she was already on the floor because I couldn't get I could barely feel a pulse, and she wasn't breathing then. So she's on the floor. Mm-hmm. She's not breathing. And I was like, get back. I got it. You just get on the phone, call 911. Let me start giving her CPR. Mm-hmm. And in situations like that, I don't panic. And I do. Not that I'm nonchalant. I just don't panic. I'm like, for me, it's physical. It's something I can try to do something about. And she's just the opposite. When something like that happens, she loses it and goes left. So it's a famous story I tell her about, you know, one time it happened with Marla. I thought she swallowed one of my insignias, and we was in Texas, and she stopped breathing. I'm sitting there trying to
sweep her throat to see if she is stuck in her throat. And I tell my wife, call 911. And what was her response?
What's the number?
What's the number? And I started yelling, get out, get out. I kicked out the room, slammed the door closed because I knew she couldn't be here. She was no use to me right now. So I put her out the room, like, no, get out. I can't deal with you.
I did. I forgot what the number was. I heard what he said, but
the
my
other
brain
story I wanted to tell was my wife had knee surgery.
Oh, yeah.
And on both knees.
On both. I had knee replacement.
Yeah, knee replacement.
Well, I had knee surgery prior to all that. I did. But then back, what is it, 2000, what year we in?
Don't get me lying, we're in 26.
So it's before COVID.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Right before COVID, I had knee replacement.
So
4 weeks apart.
I went to the room downstairs. I put a bed down there that all the transforming stuff. And I was like, hey, make it comfortable for you. I'll come down here late with you so you ain't by yourself. I got up, brought her food every day, everything I could do.
He did.
So I wasn't slacking on that part, like, you don't care about me. No, it wasn't none of that.
I mean, but when I needed him in the middle of the night when the pain was the worst.
Yeah, I'm asleep. I still got to go to work. And I was on swing shift then.
Yeah,
so I got to go
hard,
to work.
Because I couldn't.
I did what I could, had her straight. Here go the remote. Here go this. Everything you need is right here.
He did.
So, I mean, I don't know what time you fall under the car, but sometimes we try to do what we can. And then maybe he know that about you. Listen, that you're gonna milk it. You're gonna milk it.
Like, you heard what B said. She about to milk that.
Like, you're not about to do that to me. See? And he's like, nah, you ain't gonna do me like that. And see, for me, when I get sick, I get like a little baby. I tell you that in a heartbeat. I get like a little baby. Who said that, Chris?
Oh yeah, because she's what you seeing is from YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, and I told her yes.
So I get like a little baby, and I expect her to be there, hand and feet. Give me my doggone put Marla back on here. Give me something to drink. Keep it coming. But this last time I had ankle surgery, I fractured my ankle, and I was at home.
Living it up.
Yeah. All I wanted to do was sleep.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. He was pretty much okay. I
wanted to stop working and keep it going.
Right. But it's crazy because telling these stories, it helped us because a lot of times when y'all go through these situations, it can cause distance and it can cause issues in the relationship, or because you don't know if you're like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some people I hear it all the time, and there's a lot of people that be like, you know what, this ain't what I signed up for. I can't do this. I don't want no parts of it. Well,
Right.
Why did you marry that person? Because the sickness and health is going to happen either in the beginning, the middle, or the end. And do you just give up on the person because of that? I mean, you can't always have it good, is what I'm saying. And you just have to be open and know that, okay, at some point, the situation or the dynamics of the relationship will change. And it's just being open and willing to go along with those changes. And will it be easy? Nope. Because there's plenty of times where I was mad with him because I felt like he could have did more. But understanding where his limits are, and me trying to push him past that becomes an issue because I can't expect him to be able to do what I do.
Right.
And I think that's important. Like, know who you are married to and know what their limits are. Not saying that they can't grow or move past those, but knowing that they may need a little time to adjust. And in some situations, adjusting isn't always easy for them.
So what I want to say to that is this. She's right on a certain aspect with that. But I think in life, period, one thing that we all probably need to take into account is don't expect everybody to do what you do.
That's what I was saying.
Because that's just not
who they are.
Them. It's not just who they are.
It's hard to do that.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. It is.
And I feel like that too.
Because I be feeling like when I tell Tommy I ain't feeling well, and he give me that look, and he just out of the car, so he probably opinion when I say this, and he give me that look, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Because I have to tell him how I'm feeling, because like health-wise, it's so many things going on that if something was to happen, I want him to know exactly what I'm feeling that day. Mm-hmm. But it'd be like he be thinking that I'm just complaining, or that's the look that he give me, like he just said, no, it ain't that. But that's the way I'm feeling, because if he tell me he not feeling good, well, what you need me to do? Right. What do I got to do to make you feel better? Right. And when I say to him, I don't feel good, and he just be like, what's new?
Right. And I think for us,
like I'm crazy.
He said, no, I don't.
What do I ask you? What do I ask you? I ask you how you feel. Have you taken your meds? How much water have you drunk? Do you want to go to the emergency room?
Come on with it, Tommy. Come on.
And none of those questions that you just asked is going to make me feel better.
Right.
But hold on. See?
I want you to sympathize with me. I want you to. I'm a sight-see person. I need you to look like you stay.
Yeah, sometimes you scare me. Period.
And I was about to say that. So one thing I want to say is, do you think it could be that when you say that, it frightens him about losing his partner, and you don't take that in consideration how he's feeling, understanding that you're going through things? It's one thing after another, and it's like, man, am I about to lose my partner? And you can't expect everybody to respond the way you think they should dealing with that. Because like I said, with me, when it's out of my control, I have to catch myself because I feel so useless. Mm-hmm. I'd rather for it to be some man disrespecting us so I can go in there and put my hands on him. But when it's something totally out of my control, I have to remind myself that, hey, you can't do everything. And you serve a God that's more powerful than anything. Get on your knees and pray about it when you're out of the picture. And I have to remind myself of that because I'm always trying to fix every little thing. So when I'm used to doing it and then I can't, it weighs on me heavily.
And listen, I completely understand what you're saying, because I'm definitely one of those people where I feel like the same way and same energy that I give you or I put into you, I expect that back. Like, the same way I'm loving you or I'm showing you love, because that's my love language. The same way I'm taking care of you, just show me a little. Can I at least get half of that back? Like, show me that you care about, what's going on with me or what I'm looking like or what I'm going through. And being that type of person, I had to really understand the person that I was with and what their love language and how they deal with situations, and that is never going to look like mine. And because because in the beginning when first I was like mad with him all the time, he'll tell you, but it took me to understand how he loves me, and how he protects me, and when, like he was saying, when things are out of his control, how he responds to that. And once I understood that, then it was a lot easier for me, not to want to kick him in the throat.
I think that's definitely true, because I feel like
I'm real simple. I get sick or I'm hurting or whatever, I just go sit in the corner somewhere.
And that's most men. Sometimes we won't even go to the hospital.
and he won't.
Mhm.
That's most men. That's most
Like
men.
get the fussing and the cussing, and then he go.
Yep.
If it ain't about to fall off, hey, we put a Band-Aid on it or something. That's most of us.
Okay, Vonda, what were
What
you
are you saying,
saying?
V?
You know, when you talk about you not expecting you from the other person, it kind of goes to me. I feel like you doing both of y'all a disservice because you're holding that person to a standard that they never agreed to.
Mhm.
That's true. That's true.
And it doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. But it's just not, you know what I mean? It's just not them.
I
Right.
totally agree with that.
Yeah.
So managing life together, you got to redefine strength, right? Strength isn't pretending that everything is fine,
Right.
right? So it allows vulnerability on both sides, saying this is hard and we're still here together.
And
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
figure
get
it
through
out.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Separate from the illness is the person. So
Right.
regardless of anything,
You got to separate the two.
right. And is that easy?
No.
No, it absolutely isn't. The illness is the problem, not your spouse. So how can we fix the illness if it's something that is fixable? How can we go about making sure everything is right? Avoiding maybe bad behaviors that maybe gotten yourself in that predicament, blaming behaviors or cause pains, fatigue, not taking your medication. Like Hale was saying, you know, it was hard to get him to go to the doctor. Trying to figure those things out.
Don't be pointing.
Try and use language like when the illness flares up, we struggle.
Right.
Right. Not you always.
Right.
Because you always. Me and Quintella have a big issue with that.
Yeah, the whole word.
I'm heavy on wordplay.
He absolutely is.
So she'll say you always or you never. I'm like always,
never. So
and that ain't what she means, but that's all I hear because I'm heavy on wordplay. And sometimes we have a struggle getting to the root of the issue because I'm stuck on wordplay and she's like, you just taking everything to the extreme. Like, no, you said always. You said so. You gotta be careful with those kind of languages, right? So create new roles together.
Instead of slipping into automatic little things you discuss with each other on what to do. What else?
Revisit roles regularly as health changes.
Yeah.
Because like we said before, the role can reverse where I'm typically not the caregiver. She is, and she gets sick. Now I gotta kind of revisit the roles.
Right.
All right.
So like with Lissa or whatever, she can, like Tommy was saying, he'd be asking her how she feels. Help her feel supportive. Yeah. Not because she, like she said, she want him to understand why I'm telling you this. So yeah, he's asking her, okay, do you need to go to the hospital, this or that? But like she said, that's not helping me feel better.
And like we discussed earlier, like the difference between most men and women is we try to get to the root cause.
Right, which is what he was doing. He's just asking because he's like, okay,
you said, let's go.
Right.
Let's go to the hospital. Ain't no need for playing. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to school for that. Your pinky toe falling off. If you want some scotch tape around it, I can do that. But if you want me to sew it back and get blood from, let's go to the doctor. So, you know, sometimes we got to realize that the roles may reverse and they change. So we got to visit those issues. Preserve autonomy where possible. Mm-hmm. Ask what helps feel supportive. Like Tommy says this, but that's not what makes her feel supportive. So ask her, what makes you feel like I'm supporting you? Right. And try to work and build on that.
Oh, right? What can I do to make you feel like, okay, I am here, I'm listening. I want to make sure I'm protecting, you know, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed and I don't want to feel overwhelmed. So what can we do? I want to protect both our emotional connection, our intimacy. I want to make sure like physically you're okay. What can I do? Try to make those things a priority.
Yeah, prioritize affection.
So yeah, so your words, your presence, right. Schedule some time together that don't have nothing to do with the illness. I think sometimes you get so caught up in the person being sick that, like we were saying, you forget that they are a human being. Right. Like it's bad enough I got to deal with always feeling sick or being sick. Let me do something to make you feel better. So we're not actually talking about that right now. Let's do something else. Yes, you got this. but we're going to schedule some time away from your sickness, so to speak. And I want you to just forget about that. And I just want you to be comfortable and feel like yourself, even if it's for a little bit. And is that easy also with women? No, because we're so emotional. So that's all we got going on. So I know even with me, like if Kel say, okay, well, I want you to get dressed and do this. I'm so nosy. I'm like, for what? Where we going? Like, I'm comfortable. I'm at home and he's sitting there like,
shut up.
Like, right. Like, just get dressed. And it's like, so we got to make sure that we stay open to that and get out of our comfort zone sometimes. Because I know me, I am such an introvert. I'm okay with being at home. I ain't got to be around people. I ain't got to go nowhere. I'm good. I got everything I need at home. So
also talk about your fears, not just symptoms. What do you feel for going through your sickness? What am I feel for watching you go through it? So both of y'all need to communicate your fears and try to help each other get past that.
Not only that, I think there should always be a plan of action too. Some plan set in place just in case those things do happen again. Okay, what do we do? You know, what happens if this happens? Because, you know, those are talks that never happen sometimes until the person is sick or they're on their dying bed. And I think there should always be open communication because I think it's so funny. I remember the first time Kel found out that I was an organ donor. He was not. I'm going to tell y'all, he was not happy about it.
Not at all.
Which was crazy because do you remember how you found out?
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, because you know you put it on your driver's license, and I had sent him to get mine. So he looking at the top, and he was like, "What do that symbol mean?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm an organ donor." And he was like, "Oh, no, you ain't." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Nobody else is getting your body parts." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not. If I'm gone, Kel, I don't need them." And it was a long time. Kel was just not having it. He was like, "My body parts wasn't going to nobody else."
Quentin, are you still an organ donor?
No.
Yeah, we taking that off.
No, I am not. My husband said if my organs aren't going to anybody, and I was trying to explain to him, you know, there may be somebody out there that need it. We're still in the middle of negotiations for that.
We're not negotiating. It's enough.
Oh.
One body can save 176 people.
That's very true. So for me, it's like this. This is my stance on it. If you ask me, and I get to know the person, you know, see who they are, yeah, we probably could, you know, do something because, like she said, she's no longer here. But I also see the negative side. Well, for me, it's like let's be real. Some people are missing, gone missing, or found deceased, and before they even make it to the hospital, their organs are missing. So this organ transplant thing to me, or harvesting, stealing, black market, is very real. And I think if you see that, they'll say, hey, let's look at this person found. Hey, sometimes this is just me. You can say conspiracy theory all you want. Some accidents, car accidents didn't just happen. Some millionaire might have said, hey, you know what? We looked at her file and she lives right here. Let's hit her with the semi and take a liver. So that's just me. You know, you come ask. Yeah, you come ask me about it. Say, hey, your wife is deceased. We have a person here that, you know, they've been on a kidney transplant for 900 years. Do you mind? I could work with that. But just saying, no, I'm an organ donor, because they're not going to ask you anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go in there and take everything. So, no.
I changed mine because when I worked at the hospital, it was this man and a tree fell on him. Just a regular tree. Like, he was broke up, but he was fixable. Mm-hmm. They was like, oh, he's an organ donor, and they didn't try to save the man or nothing. They took all his stuff. They cut him from the rooter to the tutor.
See?
And took everything.
See? That's
and
me.
I was like, oh, no, I changed mine. It's like, say, by all means necessary when it just ain't no way else.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can get what you want, but don't just take it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, small rituals, they matter more than ever when you're going through this, right? And for the caregiver, this is critical because caregivers get burnt out.
And I've been there.
And it harms both partners, right? The healthy spouse needs to rest also. Hobby support. See, my hobby was gaming, and she felt like I just didn't care.
I did.
I was down there NBA balling it up.
Yeah,
but,
I wanted to break that thing.
Support guilt-free. Breaks are not selfish. And see, it could be at that very time where you're in very much need of some support, whether it's emotional or physical, and that could be the very time that person felt like they need a break. So now there's a conflict.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
and
why
that has happened, especially with us. I remember one time with the knee replacement, I was drugged up, and I needed to go to the bathroom bad, and I had the walker. But if you ain't never had knee replacement and then both knees, like trying to make it to the bathroom at that point was just, and I needed help. But then I looked over, it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I felt bad. And I shook him, but nothing happened. And I know he was burnt out, but I was in desperate need. But I had to get up and figure out how to make it to the bathroom without help. And I was mad.
And let me tell you something with this woman here. So in the beginning, when she's supposed to absolutely have the walker, this chick will get up and try to walk without it. And I'll jump up fussing. What are you doing? Hey, if you need help, let me know. I'll help you there. But don't get up here and try and do it yourself because you're going to tear something up.
Because I felt guilty. Because that was the first knee. And I watched how he was with the first knee. He was like on everything. So now 4 weeks later, like sister girl didn't even do a whole 6 weeks before the other knee was being replaced. And I would tell anybody, don't do it. If y'all can put some time in between, don't do it. But yeah.
And see, for me, her pain tolerance is super high. So I'm like, stop, because you could tear something up again and be there even longer. Excuse me. And now we got to go on for something else.
Which
that's a part of an income that's down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, stop. If you need help, let me know. Let my son know. One of us is going to get up, if not both of us, and help you. You know how many times Marla's on here? You know how many times we had to get her out the car, throw her on our backs, and carry her upstairs? Because she wasn't unconscious. She just physically could not move.
Yeah, when Marla was,
So, sometimes we have to do. I was breaking down. I can't do that no more. So
Marla, your daddy talking about you.
I get my mini me.
Okay, I am small still. You can just pick me, just to scoop me up under my armpits.
Just like her mama, right? So I get my mini me, the young Hulk me to get it. But I should tell Marla, okay, look, we're gonna get this. What they call them things you shouldn't see, and it scroll up the steps.
Oh, the little what you call that thing, Marla?
I don't know what you call that thing, but it's for the people that can't walk. You sit in the seat and it goes up the steps.
What you call it, Tommy? Oh.
The picking up thing?
The one that go up the stairs. That you
the electronic thing.
I know what you're talking about. The chair go up the rail.
Yeah, that chair that go up the rail.
I was like, hey, we're gonna go get one of those.
Oh, that's what I wanted.
She's like, I ain't getting that.
I don't want that big old ugly thing in my on my stairs.
I'm like, my knees be hurting picking you up. My back be about to break picking you up.
That's why I told her we need a house with everything on one level. We're gonna downsize.
And see, I'm just the opposite, because we'll go out somewhere, but hey, you want this the little carts in Walmart, and you want this with? I ain't getting in that. I'll gladly hop in that bad boy right around.
And I get in that thing, and I
that's me. I earned it.
I ain't got no feet.
Right. Right.
But y'all ever notice when the older folk be looking at you like they about to knock you over? Because they be mad.
People feel like they don't, like when I was parking and the lady was like, you're in a handicapped spot. I said, you can't tell me whether or not I'm handicapped by looking at me.
Right. And that's absolutely true.
Hey, it ain't always physical.
Because they do it to me and Marla all the time.
For those who might be listening, who might see this later, handicap is not always physical. Sometimes it's mental, and you need to leave them people alone.
Right.
And
you better leave them people alone.
I wasn't nowhere
Yeah, because the autism dude, he had a handicap sticker.
See? Yep.
So with these situations, we got to try and communicate differently.
I think we should have honest check-ins.
Right.
Like, how are you today?
Right. Ask that question. How are you? How you doing today? From a level from 1 to 10. Do I need to? Is it a grenade situation? Or can I come in? Can I say hey without you exploding? What's going on?
Or use I feel instead of you don't. Because I'm good for saying, well, you ain't checked on me today, or you ain't. Instead of me saying that, I've learned, and sometimes I slip up, but sometimes I be like, I feel. So I do the I feels. Like, give me my credit. I be working on doing better.
And we have to realize and accept that some days there are no solutions. Just listen.
Yeah, because that's
all. It's nothing you can do. It's nothing you can help with. They just gotta vent, and we gotta listen and let them get it out.
Yes, y'all do.
If conversations get stuck, we can always, what? Something we didn't discuss was we can always seek friends and family outside help in these situations. Whether it's come in and talk to you for a bit, what you talking about, get some stuff off your chest.
Some people like to go see professional help and get therapists.
Get a therapist.
Yeah, because I think this is like the perfect platform, because then you'll have other people that are going through what you're going through, and you can see what solutions or how did they work through it and how did they get past certain situations. So I think platforms and therapists and professional help, all those things, and friends and family, all of that could be useful.
Yep. So agree together. There'll always be losses.
Right. There will be.
Old routines, energy, future plans.
There'll be.
Grieving together strengthens connection.
I do believe
suppressing
that.
Grief creates distance. So
not just grief, but not being honest. Right. I think that when you're not honest,
just don't want to be dealing with nobody today.
And I think sometimes with being honest, you feel like you're going to hurt the other person's feelings. And it does happen sometimes, but I think that in those moments that both parties got to understand of, maybe when we have this talk, I'm about to say something to you and you might feel a certain way about it, but I have to say this. I need for it. And it's impossible sometimes to tell a person not to take it personal, because you can't control how they feel when you give them the information. But you also have to understand that that person has to get out what they're feeling at that time, and they just need to vent. And it may hurt your feelings, but understand that, okay, they're going through something and they're just trying to release it.
Yeah.
Because me and Kel, I'm gonna tell you,
isn't bad, because I had to go see a therapist, and it's not bad.
See,
because you can fall into a depression. And therapy work.
Right. Because then you got an outside party, and they'll have a different perspective on everything too. And then they can also teach you, little cues and give you other things to use to kind of get past where you're at. Because that, I think it can be useful too.
Right. And building a stronger teamwork. It doesn't mean that the illness was worth it. It just means that your love for each other adapted.
Right.
And instead of breaking, it came together and built stronger.
Right.
Like she said earlier, when seeking extra help, consider professionals,
right,
a therapist.
Definitely talk, because resentment is a big thing, and it can be a big thing in relationships. I know it was for me, because I had some resentment and stuff built up, and then when I blew up, and it caused issues with us. So we had to learn how to work on that, because, like, unfortunately, you're talking about two individuals that hold grudges. So it was very explosive, and we had to find other ways. Like, okay, now we're blowing up and we're both mad with each other, but are you leaving? Because that's what it came down to. Are you leaving or am I leaving? And if we're not, then we need to figure out, how do we move forward from here? So we had to put stuff into place to kind of figure out where we wanted to be and what was going on within the marriage.
Yep. So realize when one partner is feeling invisible, depressed, or anxiety is present, or communication feels unsafe, or they shut down. That's when you might want to go and seek that professional.
Right. Final thought.
Final thought.
What's yours?
So, final thought: a spouse illness changes the marriage, but it does not have to end the partnership. The couple who survive and even grow are the ones who adapt openly, ask for help, keep seeking each other's partners first.
As partners first.
As partners first.
Okay. Patience. If you want, I can. Stuff like that. Kel is big on that. I will say, "Oh, I want," and I be thinking Kel won't be listening. Kel listens. Kel just moves at his own pace.
That's true.
And I am definitely one of those chicks. Like when I want something done, we need to be getting it done now. You know what I mean? Right.
See, I'm a sidestep for a minute, right? So this is Quintella, right? All right. I'm gonna give y'all a little tea. So her closet, she hangs like 1,800 pounds of clothes, everything on the. You get the house that has the wire rack system, right?
Yeah, that builder grade crap.
So she puts 1,800 pounds of clothes on it, and it rips it clean out the wall.
One day I came home, my whole top
clean. Everything laid on the floor.
I came home from work. The
sheetrock tore up.
I mean, it was tore up bad.
So I'm looking at it, and she's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" I was like, "All right." I got two options.
For how long? But go ahead.
Yeah, I did nothing because see, and that's the thing. She expected me to get like Bob the Builder, like you see on TV, right? I'm looking at it like, okay, if I put the wire rack system back up, it's going to be much harder. Is she still going to throw the 1,800 pounds back up there? So I was like, okay. I'm thinking and analyzing the whole thing through. And she's like, where we go with that? I'm like, hey, look, take your clothes, put them over there, and let me sit here and look and think about what it's going to take for me to get this done. Because at the time, I was on swing shift.
He was.
So my swing shift is, hold on, let me put her back on. My swing shift is I'm working days, a couple of days, off a couple of days, and I'm working nights. So I'm like, I got to get this done in between my time off, or maybe when I'm getting ready to go to work that night. I know me. Normally, I don't like to get out of bed till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, knowing I got to go to work at 7. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it this week. She's like, when you gonna get it? So finally, we started putting it together, but I'm trying to explain to her that I know what you want done. And sometimes she see it, and I love her to death. She thinks I can do everything.
He can.
And she want to fly to the moon right now. She think I can build her a rocket and sit up there and bring it back.
And he will do it.
Now, you might make it 500 feet off the ground. I don't know what's going to happen after that. The vessel might blow up. I don't know.
Okay, let me stop.
Can I insert real quick?
Yes, you can.
You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you, okay?
Come on.
That's what my Bible tells me.
Yes, and my Bible also tells me wisdom. So I will go hire somebody to build a rocket and fly up there safely and bring it back down. I know my limitations. And my wife doesn't think I have any. So I'm like,
because
hey,
so far he's proven me right. Every single task and everything that I've needed done, has it not happened? Have you not been able to do it?
It has. But I'm telling you, calm down. Jesus. Because you got to do this. You got to do. So let me tell you what she did. So if I don't move fast enough for her, she'll go in there and tear something up, and then like, yeah, you was right.
And I do.
And I look at it like, not only do I have to fix the original project, I gotta fix what she just destroyed.
Because if you would have did it in the beginning, then it would have been a 1-2.
It's gonna get done. Just wait. Yeah. Just wait.
Like
like her closet, she was in a rush. But one thing she didn't expect, I put the motion sensor light in there.
Yeah, he did.
And the reason why I put it in there, because I wake up, I was on swing shift. She go in the closet, cut the light on, get dressed, leave. And I'm trying to sleep, and this bright light is shining in the room like she left the light on. Okay.
Well, I'm getting older. I can't remember everything. But
So,
thank God he thought about that. So
like,
yeah, now I ain't got to worry about it. I go in my closet and the motion lights come on, and when I leave out and I ain't in there, they go off. I think it's beautiful. Everybody should have one. So,
Oh, can you do my closet too?
Huh?
Huh?
Say what?
Can you do my closet too?
What you mean? Put a motion light in there?
The whole thing.
I can't do it. Now, can you wait about a year?
Look. Yep.
Oh, you can wait about a year? Oh, we can do it then. I'll piece it up, and by 2027, closet done.
Already know what you want done. Get your stuff or whatever. Because I think that was one of the things I kind of drew. I drove him crazy on, and it was only because of how much stuff I have. So trying to fit, elbows? And I'm being honest, trying to fit everything that I have in that one closet wasn't going to work. So what we did was everything that I normally wear every day or whatever, and my shoes, because I have a lot of shoes. So that closet mostly is all of my shoes, and then like my shirts and my pants. All of my jackets, hoodies, all that other stuff is in a whole nother closet. And then anything extra is just in another place too. So
my eyes got big because I would go in this room, take measurements, and be like, Quinn, write this down. Put it in your phone. And then we'd go somewhere and be like, all right, what's the measurements? I don't know. What you mean you don't know? So Cece blaming me about time, so I can't move right then and there. I gotta go all the way back, wait till we take these measurements again, because we're not gonna buy the wrong thing, not the wrong size.
So V, when he tell you to write it down, because when he ready, he is ready, and he asks you for, and not just write them down correctly, because I had a habit of not writing them down correctly, or if I saved it, I had the crazy part was I always had it saved in my phone, but I could never remember what I had it saved as.
Or look, I'll tell her, okay, left wall, 14 feet by 3 inches. Right wall. And then when I go, I'm like, write it down just like how I told you. And then it's 14 feet, 11 feet. I'm like, all right, which one? I don't know. I said, that's why I told you left wall, right wall. So when I'm saying that, I know which one.
Which wall he was dealing with. And I did. I drove him crazy for that. But praise the Lord, it's together and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So let me finish this up.
We did all of that.
We did all this already?
Yes, we did. We at the end.
Okay. So offer resources or support, group guidance, or tailor advice to a specific illness or situation. You do not
have to carry it alone. Y'all are in it together. You're gonna get through it together. You just gotta
outside sources. You got family, friends. You got this channel.
Right. And everybody got our number. Right.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. We'll get y'all through it.
So we thank everybody for joining. Anybody have any last comments or something you want to say?
Tommy.
Alyssa, Vonda.
Can y'all believe it's 2026?
That situation, listen and notice the changes, because sometimes depression can look normal.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely,
definitely,
absolutely.
V, what you need help, get help.
Yep.
If you need help,
get help.
All right, V, don't be ashamed of that. You need help, get help. V, what you got?
I definitely agree with that. And I was just saying, it's 2026. 2025 went by so fast. Yeah, you know how like back in the day, nobody talked about it. You just was quiet. Talk about it. Like Lissa said, if you need help, ask for help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have you had a chance for you to open your package.
Oh yeah, we did. Our number one participant. I don't know if y'all saw. I did take a picture of her gift basket. I kept saying, I gotta get it to her, because we have been saying it for months. Oh, we got something for our number one participant, and we were able to finally get it to her. And I hope that you're enjoying it.
I didn't open it yet. I wanted to unbox it on camera.
Okay, so just let us know when, and we'll do that.
Okay. So next week.
Okay, that'll work. Next week, y'all. So
Mhm.
if y'all want to know what all she got, her little goodies, definitely tune in next week to see that. Also, Lisa, get yourself prepared. You do have a business. We do want to make sure that at the end of every episode we're doing now, that we shout out a business, and we do want you to shout yours out. I do share it as whenever I see you post it. Definitely, she's very creative. She got a lot of stuff going on. If you need anything, reach out to her. I craft.
Box.
Say it again.
I see you, craft box.
Yep, definitely.
For those who might want to see this, if you can see it, I don't know, but this is
the gift. They can't really tell. It's her gift basket. Her gift basket.
But like she said, next week she'll bring it on and unbox it.
Right.
So
Plus, it's a picture of it also on the page.
On the Recipe Sugar page.
Yeah, it's on all the social media. So if you want to see it, they can.
Cool.
I mean, you can't see what's all in it because of the way I did it. But if she wants to share, she can. Definitely next week. Thank y'all all for coming on. Y'all be blessed. We will see y'all next week.
Yes, and I'm Kel.
And this is Quintella, and this has been another episode of
Recipe
to Chivalry. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Faith.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Thanks, Marla. Thanks, Chris. We thank y'all. Bye.
Bye. Love y'all.